Welcome to LC Screen Talk. My name is Larry, and this is my review of Cats. Cats is the 2019 movie adaptation of the Andrew Lloyd Webber stage musical, which in and of itself is based off of a series of short stories. The film follows the journey of a young kitten as she's introduced to a pack of cats. They are all preparing for a big ceremony. So I'm not a huge musical theater person, and I've never seen the stage play of Cats. Of course, I know about it. It's ubiquitous. I have seen individual performances, so I've seen the costumes. I know some of this music. Of course, Tom Hooper has had success with adaptations of musicals in the past, so I was interested. I was intrigued until I saw that trailer. Yeah, I was pretty much in line with most everybody else in thinking the trailer didn't do it for me. It was weird. I didn't like it. But Jennifer Hudson seemed to be killing it. Those were my takeaways from that first trailer. And yeah, this was a mess. I did not really like Cats at all. Sorry. So let's go ahead and talk about those positives first. Well, I mentioned her just now, and I think Jennifer Hudson is the biggest positive of this entire film. First, I do think her acting performance was very solid, but obviously it's those pipes, it's those vocals that we come for, and she nailed Memory for me. Obviously, it is the most famous song from this musical, and I think she just delivered. She nailed it from both an acting perspective and just pure vocal. And the memory scene is kind of the standout for me of the film. It's the only scene that really emotionally resonated. I did also enjoy Judi Dench more than I anticipated, which is weird to say considering it's Judi Dench. What was I thinking, right? While her singing was not great, she is meant to be a very old cat, so we can excuse all of that. But I really thought Dench was able to shine through in some fun ways in the performance. Not gonna lie, I also really had fun with this weird monologue at the end of the film about cats and how to greet and treat cats. That, with Judi Dench's spirited delivery, really was the funnest thing in this movie. Because, as I said, unfortunately, this movie is just a hot mess. So let's go ahead and talk about them negatives. Kicking off with the CGI, which is terrible. I mean, it is really not good. And how this is on the short list for the Oscar visual effects, I have no idea because, woo! Let's be real. We were all off put by the designs in the trailers, and they are just as bad in this film. We didn't need render time, we didn't need any of those excuses. The CGI is terrible here. The worst part about these cats is that the faces never really feel part of the body. Those like human faces in there feel superimposed, and especially when the cats are like moving around, the face almost like follows behind. And then we have these moments where you see more of the top of the head, or like the ears either move back or they move to the side or forward. And the face is so stationary as like the head moves around. It is disturbing, honestly. I also hated that the fingers were literally human hands, and not just in shape or form or functionality. They didn't really change the color, and then it blends up right around here into the fur, and I thought it looked weird. And then the CGI, just in and of themselves, the cats looked weird. When they were dancing, when they were moving, it just never felt natural. It never felt right. It never looked organic. The jumping, all of this was just foolery to me. It really looked terrible. And then we get over to these mice and these cockroaches, and they were worse than the cats. Oh my gosh, these little mice just looked insane. I mean, it was ridiculous. And then these cockroaches with these human faces was ridiculous and really presented some disturbing things, with Rebel Wilson's cat just like eating them. Eating these little humanoid, dancing, singing, sentient cockroaches with human faces. What are we doing? Like, seriously. But all of that CG just looked horrible. All of the CG in general just looked bad. And then the acting performances. I don't want to give these people too much, but Rebel Wilson acted a fool. Her song and dance number was terrible, I thought. I mean, it really was just grating. James Corden is not good here again. It's like the cat nails on a chalkboard for a good portion of this film. Idris Elba, I'm not really sure. I think he may have just sleptwalked his way through. His performance is not good, unfortunately. Ian McKellen gives it a go. So he's on the positive side, honestly, when it comes to these performances. Taylor Swift, I mean, she's here with her weird accent. I don't know. Jason Derulo, all of these people. I mean, it just is a mess. I mean, how do you even act through this? How do you even act through these special effects? I'm not sure, but unfortunately, the actors and the effects department weren't sure either. And the film has no emotional resonance to it. I mean, you're just literally watching a non coherent mess of a story of these cats preparing for basically a talent show, which isn't really well explained. Andrew Lloyd Webber and these concepts with these crazy names for things, and this, it just is nonsense. We don't care about these characters. We don't care about what happens to pretty much any of these characters because it's these weird little just offshoots of people singing constantly. This is like the type of annoying musical where it is literally just 2 hours of singing. There are very little breaks. There's very little actual talking or conversation. They're just singing. They're singing nonsense. They're singing as part of this like talent show, and it grows old very fast, and thus I checked out. I was like checked out watching the film because I didn't care about this latest song that is sung fine, sounds fine, but is animated creepily and holds no emotional weight or impact. We just keep bopping from one short story to the next. So it's all just a bunch of nonsense, but it's not fun nonsense. I wasn't having a good time watching this. I was more just annoyed with how terrible everything seemed to be executed in this film. The logic is just not there. Cats go from having on shoes to being barefoot, and how do they even find these shoes because they're so small? But little kitten paw high heels, that's a thing, right? I don't know. I don't know what the point of all this was. At the end of the day, it seemed to be like trying to get people to empathize and love cats. What? I don't know. It's a mess. It's a mess. I don't know why they adapted this to the screen. I mean, I guess I do because it's a highly successful musical, but this is not a story for a film adaptation in the slightest. I'm not even sure it's really a story to follow along with on the stage, but it sure as hell did not translate to film. This was a hot mess, y'all. So if you are just really needing, like desperately needing a musical for the holidays, give this a straight like discount bin matinee. The cheapest you can find. If you gotta see it on the holidays, do not pay full price for this. Otherwise, honestly, I think you could just skip it altogether. It doesn't offer anything that you need to see. And at the end of the day, it just seemed like a poorly executed slog to me. But maybe give it a rental because let's be real, everybody's going to be talking about these horrifying floating heads on CGI cat bodies. So that is my review of Cats. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead, click like down below and subscribe to the channel so you are always up to date on my latest videos. Also, join in on the discussion. Are you excited to see Cats or have you already seen it? If you have, let me know your thoughts either in the comment section down below, or you can hit me up on Twitter. I love you all so much for your continued support. Mwah! Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!